This place was rough. Cracked concrete, peeling paint, zero vibe. We rolled in with the crew in all black and got to work. Watch this. First, we stripped everything down and framed new walls for the floating vanities. Then we mapped out that wavy channel through the middle. It's gonna be our showpiece. Moss goes in, stones go in, and here comes the clear epoxy. It levels
Top of the sealed concrete, we start by setting our design. Loose cherry blossoms, orchids, lavender, and tiny daisies are placed one by one. Every stem is positioned so the pattern flows naturally across the kitchen. With the layout finished, we mix a 2-part clear epoxy until it's crystal and bubble free. We pour straight onto the flowers and immediately
turning this plain concrete slab into something you only see in the sky. First, we roll out these giant printed sheets, each one covered in high-resolution clouds. The seams are lined up and pressed perfectly flat so the image flows without a break. Next, we mix a clear UV-stable epoxy, 2 parts resin, 1 part hardener until it's crystal smooth.
Installing a full room wood inlay today. Burned cedar petals cut to shape and spread across the dining room. Each piece gets set in adhesive, tapped in and aligned so the pattern flows from wall to wall. Once everything's locked in, we clean the joints and prep for finish. The clear 2-part epoxy is mixed until it's crystal smooth, then poured right over the design. We pull it out with notched trowels, work it into every corner, and walk it out in spiked shoes.
This hallway come alive. Each of the girls lays down pigmented resin, blues, coppers, whites, jet black, letting the colors flow into one another for that custom galaxy pattern. Once the design's in place, they flood the whole surface with a crystal clear epoxy, pushing it to every corner. Torches
Stone-style epoxy floor in this sitting room. First, the crew lays down polished, vibrant stones, reds, ambers, blues, and violets covering every inch with a custom pattern. Then we mix a crystal clear 2-part resin and pour it across the surface. Using notched trowels, it's pushed into every corner until the stones are completely encapsulated.
Start by laying down our pigmented resin colors, letting them flow to form those gorgeous waves. This is where the art happens. Now we flood the floor with clear epoxy, leveling it to every edge. It's self-leveling, but we help it along. Next, we run propane torches to pop bubbles and smooth the surface. Look at that glassy finish starting to appear. Once it sets up, we polish with a planetary grinder to bring out crystal.
Start by laying down custom cloud panels and flexible neon strips, mapping out the sky design across the concrete slab. Once the pattern looks right, we secure the wiring so nothing shifts. With the layout complete, we pour a self-leveling clear epoxy. It flows over the clouds and lights and begins to fill the room edge to edge. Heat guns break.
Watch how we turn this kitchen floor into a galaxy. First, the crew pours out a custom mix loaded with pigments and gold sparkle. They let the colors flow and blend until the whole floor looks like deep space. Next, they pull a clear self-leveling epoxy over the design. Flames from butane torches pop bubbles and let the resin.
We transform this plain patio into a wood grain showpiece. First, we flood it with our caramel and jet black pigment, pulling those colors into smooth waves with trowels and squeegees. Once the design is set, a clear coat of self-leveling epoxy goes down. It's about 60% see-through right now, but just wait. A quick pass with the torch gun pops